Hi everyone, I'm Clara, and I just had last weekend the best trip to the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. One of my best friends, whose name is Gina, came down from Boston to go with me, and we got to spend the day together roaming this huge festival and meeting a lot of sheep and artists and browsing through insane amounts of yarn, some of which I have here. Uh, it was so sweet of her to come down the coast, and I think it was worth it, honestly. If you're in the sheep and wool world, you'll know that Rhinebeck in New York is the biggest festival nationwide, but um, this one I think was a close second. I've only been to this one, so like bear with me because I don't have any other points of reference. I will be going to Rhinebeck this fall though, and it was jam packed. Like it was hopping with people. We met people who had come from out of state, vendors who had come from like Colorado and Ohio and California. And then you'll see a little clip of us talking about this later, but there was absolutely so much traffic that on the way there, it took like 40 minutes to get there from my home and then an extra hour just to get off the highway to get in there. But it was so worth it. So, in this little vlog, I'm gonna be taking us back to last weekend and letting you know just what that experience was like in case you want to live vicariously through us, or see what it was like if you're from Maryland and you missed it, or maybe you're interested in going to one in the future. I've been going to these since I was like a preteen, but I've only gone a couple times. And I don't know, maybe it's just living in Maryland, but the weather there is definitely cursed when it comes to sheep and wool. Like, I don't think I've gone once without it raining. And this time we got definitely like a biblical level of weather, which I'll show you guys. But it was such a fun experience, and I was looking forward to it for a long time and saving up some money. So I definitely got myself a little haul, which we'll go through. But going to one of these festivals, like I think for most people and for myself included, the best part isn't the shopping, and that's not the main point of going. I think it's such an amazing reminder of what a big community we have as fiber artists, as knitters, as creators. Um, I think since it's kind of such a solitary activity, although I go to my knitting circle, sometimes I forget just how many people in my area are involved in this hobby and this art form. And being able to go with a really dear friend who I think 3 years ago I actually taught to knit. That was just such a joy and really reminded me of just that sense of community and connection that we can create through this art form. And then it was also really sweet because my mom went with a family friend of hers, and that family friend's daughter and son-in-law. So we ran into them. Like, this festival had truly like thousands and thousands of people. Um, I'll put some clips in. It was just like hordes of people. And there were a lot of people who went there who I just didn't run into, who I knew from my knitting circle. But of course, I managed to just run into my mom, who was so laser focused and didn't see me. I had to be like, hi, and tap her on the shoulder. But we got to compare hauls and like give each other advice for what projects we wanted to make, different things we were seeing, and that was adorable. So yeah, I'll stop blabbering and let you guys see the experience now. But just before we get into that, I wanted to tell you guys what I'm wearing. So this sweater is called the Paloma sweater, which means pigeon or dove in Spanish, which I think is kind of funny. It has really, really wide sleeves, which is the main feature, so maybe that's why they named it after a bird. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll link it below. And I think it was the second sweater I ever made. So right now, you definitely notice that I'm in a different location. And you might see that there's a field of sheep behind me. I am house sitting for my parents today, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous day. Like, I came in shorts and a t-shirt, and I got here and it's so nice and breezy and just like the littlest bit chilly. So I get to sit with the breeze under the sun and put on a layer, and I had left this one at home and some wool socks. So feeling very cozy and at peace outdoors right now. I'm probably going to spend all day out on the porch knitting. All right, so with that, let me tell you about my day with one of my best friends at Sheep and Wool.
Hello! We're stuck in traffic on the way to Sheep and Wool, hoping that everyone in this line of cars is not also going to Sheep and Wool.
It's truly like a bajillion cars behind a left turn at a stoplight that's in one lane. And we don't know what else is in Friendship, Maryland, so we assume that it's everyone going to the festival.
But you know, it's working out. I'm finishing my I-cord strap that I didn't do, so I'm gonna be wearing this tank top unblocked, fully authentic today.
We're like 10 minutes away, so she's gotta finish the I-cord, weave in the ends, and then do a quick change.
So we'll be good. We'll be good.
Yeah. Gina, is there anything you're planning to get at Sheep and Wool, or anything you really want to see?
So definitely some ballet black noses today. I'm so excited to see the sheep. And then if I can find good materials, which I think I will, for a nice colorwork sweater and a sweater vest for my boyfriend, I'm going to be very, very pleased with that.
What do you guys think? Does any garment count as the sweater curse, or does a cardigan count? Is it having arms, so then a cardigan and a sweater would count? Does a vest count, or is being armless okay? What are the ramifications of these different garments?
Let us know, because we're loyal believers in the sweater curse, and we want to avoid any trouble as much as we can.
Yes. And not that anyone asked, but I'm excited to see the sheep herding trials, because they have sheepdogs there.
Yeah.
That run around and basically do like a little show to demonstrate their skills. Oh, we're moving a little in traffic.
Oh, this is good.
And then I am hoping to get some hand-dyed mohair, because I got all of this half wool, half alpaca, like sport weight yarn at a yarn swap for free, and it's really pretty. It's lilac colored, and I want to hold it with some variegated mohair and make like either the Salty Day sweater or the Colette sweater.
Gorgeous.
So Cable Town.
We're armed. We have our big tote bags.
Mm-hmm.
We have our wallets are ready for a little bit of damage.
Yes, yes. And we'll check back in and let you know how it goes.
See you soon.
So Gina successfully finished her little top in traffic. We were there for like an hour, so she had plenty of time. Then we were joyously in the parking lot, and we walked in, immediately found this stand with all of these absolutely gorgeous handmade ceramic buttons. And the checkout girl there made this own sweater, and she made the pattern too, which is so impressive to me. Then we went in the sheep barn, and we got to pet a lot of really sweet, docile valet black-nosed sheep, which were called the cutest sheep in the world, and we saw some little lambs sparring as well and learning to be fierce rams. Then we just got to explore and saw lots of amazing yarn and pelts going through the different barns, just filled with vendors, and some amazing handmade art too, like this felted coral reef. Then we actually ran into my mom. Her and Gina are gonna give their little haul. All right, so we just had some yarn purchases.
These are both from Avalon Spring Farms. Very, very pretty, speckled with mohair, merino, and sari silk.
So gorgeous. And what are you guys gonna make with them?
I'm gonna do a little vest for myself.
A little vest for my hubby. All right, nice. Let's see them next to each other. Gorgeous, so pretty. After that, we of course had infinite browsing to do. Here's Gina digging through some hand-dyed mohair. And then we got hungry and had an update at lunch.
All right, so it's 2 p.m., 3 p.m.? I think it's 3, maybe 3:30 even.
It is the afternoon.
Yeah, 3:30.
3:30, wow. And we are kind of, I don't know, we're oversaturated with wool and options. And
We definitely, we have festivaled.
yes, we have.
What happened? Oh gosh, so we got here, immediately found success with the what is the yard? The button.
we went to Holland Hoof, which is a button store, and they make their own ceramic buttons.
Oh gosh, so
And let's
cute.
find what we got. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here are my buttons.
Mine might be eternally stuck in there right here.
We can put a picture.
Yeah.
But they're little birds.
Oh, speaking of,
Did you find them?
yeah, I found one of them and another set that are blue, and they're very cute.
And I'm thinking of putting mine on a halibut cardigan.
I think I'm gonna put mine on, I think the sweater vest I'm gonna make for my boyfriend as a little charm. And that'll be very cute.
And then we went to this place that did naturally dyed yarn. And I was wanting to get some Surrey or mohair to pair with something that I have at home. And I found this, which is naturally dyed.
It's a logwood.
I got it.
Yeah,
I got it. Don't worry.
some sort of wood, heartwood, logwood. She's really pretty.
I got it, Conrad.
And then
Hey,
where
try
did we
holding your
go
spoon over your
next? Then we
dish
found your
and
mom.
not over
Yes,
your leg.
and then we found my mom.
Yeah.
We just saw her walking around, and I don't think she even saw us or made eye contact with us, but we accosted her, and we went to
You're
the
all
sheepdog trials. Oh, and we saw the ballet black nose sheep.
Oh my gosh, they're
Those
so
were really cute.
We'll add in some pictures here too. And then we went to the Avalon Springs.
Oh, that place was so good.
And I got this lovely little tweed. It's sort of like pink purpley, fun little speckles. And so I got two of those. I'm gonna make a vest for myself. And then
well, we went a lot of places because we went into this huge barn that was very hot. That's why we're all kind of bedraggled. But I got some crazy stuff. So I got 3 skeins of this hot pink magenta. I'm only holding 2, but this is it. And I think I'm going to make the Salty Days sweater with it because the artist has a sample that's in a similar color that I absolutely love.
then I think we went to, I got this very lovely tweed. So I'm making the sweater vest I mentioned earlier for my boyfriend. I'm gonna make him this fun navy. And it's so beautiful.
And then we went to a lot more places. And we went to one place
Come here.
where there was an artist from Colorado,
Yeah.
and she did a lot of naturally dyeing. So I got this to spin with.
Let me see your face.
So I'm gonna have
Let
to
me see your
learn
face. Hey.
how to spin again because I haven't done that in a
Turn
while.
around.
And then I've got 3 of these really beautiful Surrey alpaca. And I think I'm gonna
My
make
name's
the,
Conrad. What's your name?
Oh, the blouse number 1 in a single strand of mohair.
I think so. Or, I'm sorry.
All right. So what are we gonna do now?
That's a good question. I think go to the fleece barn and then figure it out from there.
Yeah. Oh, also, how could we forget?
Oh my gosh.
We got a kit to make a platypus stuffed animal.
So we got one for each of us, and he comes with little overalls. It's from a children's book that the vendor wrote with his wife.
It was honestly the cutest thing ever, and now we're gonna have matching platypus.
So cute.
Platypi.
This one is Freddie the platypus. There's also Phoebe the mouse.
And May the platypus when she has a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're very cute, very Beatrix Potter.
Beatrix Pottercore.
Yeah. So.
All right, we're gonna go to the fleece barn now.
So after that, it started sideways, bucket torrential raining, like to an insane extent. And we were in these tin roofed barns, and it sounded so loud that everyone was covering their ears. You can see in this clip that it started hailing a little, like the little dusts you see flying by, that's hail. And I felt so bad for the vendors. All of their stalls kind of filled up with rain. That inspired this mass exodus. So when the rain let up a little, we decided we were pretty tired and we were gonna leave too. And there was this actual river on the way out. So us and some other people just took our socks and shoes off and like braved this little river and walked barefoot to our car in the parking lot. So it was fun. It was like an adventure crossing the stream. And then we ended our very happy and long day and drove home.
So we just left Sheep and Wool. We are very moist Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
We are beyond. It started hailing at one point. Like, whatever you can imagine is the opposite of ASMR was being in this metal roofed barn while it hailed furiously. And everyone around us was like covering their ears, trying to move all their product away from I felt so bad. I felt so bad for the vendors. Because people were still browsing, like including myself, and then their little stalls were just getting inundated by like rivers of water. It was like so much water on the floor. Can you take a left? No, I can't take a left. We're stopped at a light now. But and then when we walked out, do you want to tell that story?
Yeah. So we walked out, and then oh my god, literal river outside the barn, and we're like trying to step over it, not
Probably
get
like 8 inches deep.
Yeah.
Like not quite a foot, but almost.
And like dynamically flowing, very, very quick. And so we're like, oh my god, we're not gonna stay dry no matter what we do. So we just kind of suck it up and keep going. Of course, I left my raincoat at Claire's apartment.
I was like, Gina, just so you know, in Maryland, like it's gonna rain, and there's rain on the forecast, so the one thing you should bring is a raincoat. And you brought it, and then you left it in my apartment.
Which, typical me. That's okay. Lessons learned.
So now you saw our crazy day. We came home like absolutely soaked. I felt so bad for Gina because literally the one thing that I reminded her about, I was like, remember to bring a dry pair of socks and a raincoat because it always friggin' rains on Sheep and Wool Day. And it started torrentially raining when we were inside of a barn, and it had like little ventilation slats on the side, and literally like sideways rain and hail was coming in through that open slat. I felt so bad for the vendors because they were just kind of watching in resigned horror as the water started building up on the ground, which was just packed dirt, and approaching the yarn on their bottom shelves, and they were all like scrambling to put it in waterproof areas and cover up all the yarn and wool displayed on the wall with the tarp. It was really chaotic. And then the like insane level of sideways rain calmed down. It was just drizzling. And Gina was like, Clara, you're gonna hate me, but I forgot my raincoat. No! And we just walked out in the rain and kind of resigned to getting soaked. And then, as you saw, we treaded through the like ankle calf deep water barefoot and got in the car and went home. And we were very tired when we got home.
I got one thing after the haul I showed you earlier, so let me show you now.
I got this 100% wool in this forest green color. This one's just already in a cake because I want to start knitting this soon. I'm gonna make a cabled hat for my boyfriend, probably for his birthday, which is in June, or maybe earlier. I love giving gifts. Like, I'm definitely a love language gift giver, especially making things. And I don't know, it's just like, if it's done, I'm gonna give it to you. Or I can save it, I don't know, but definitely gonna cast on soon. And the hat that I'm making, that I'm thinking of the pattern, this is like a really thick worsted. So, he's gonna have to wait to use it anyways. That's fine. But I forget the pattern, but I'll write it up on the screen. And the example hat is in a green color. And Evan, my boyfriend, saw that and he's like, yeah, I want it in green. So we're making it in green, and that was like the one little one skein purchase that I let myself make at Sheep and Wool, because I don't want to just pick up random skeins and not know what to do with them. But this one is assigned to a specific, very doable project with a deadline, so it will get done. So that's all. That was my haul. I had such a good time. I'm really excited for Rhinebeck this fall. But I don't, honestly, like, I have enough stuff with this and the yarn swap I went to get me through a lot of projects. So keep an eye out for my upcoming vlogs where I might do a project vlog, especially for this Salty Days, because I've just heard knitting it in sections with all those different cable repeats is like the most addicting and popcorny thing ever. You just want to like eat out the different sections. So I'm probably going to make one of those once I cast on. And then, of course, I'll have my normal little knitting podcast where you can keep an eye out on what I'm making, what I'm planning to make. Um, and yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope it's as beautiful for you today as it is for me here, and you have something fun on your needles. I'm going to end this out just with some satisfying footage of me turning these into cakes. So enjoy, thank you, and bye bye.
I just want to end by saying thank you so much to my friend Gina for coming all the way down from Boston and having this little adventure with me. I love you so much, Gina. I can't wait until we're next to each other, curled up and cozy with a mug of tea on a couch, talking and working on our next project together. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.